Hey everyone, this week's screencast is in 3 parts. First, we're going to do an overview of early childhood guidance. This is a full course at Front Range, ECE 103, Guidance Strategies for the Young Child. It's a class that I teach both online and face-to-face, as well as many other instructors. So this is going to be a really fast overview, and if you're really looking for support for children with unwanted behavior or challenging behavior, I highly recommend that you sign up for this course. It's one of the recommended courses by the Office of Early Childhood and is one of the courses that can help get you lead teacher qualified. Let's dive into the overview. This is the Pyramid Plus model, and this is a course as well. It is the equivalent of ECE 103, so instead of taking 103, you can also take this course as part of your lead teacher certification. The idea is that you start with this baseline, or this base of the pyramid in yellow, effective workforce. And the idea is that for all people who work in early childhood, we build up an effective workforce. People like you with building your skills and becoming stronger professionals around supporting children, building their skills, and having effective practices. So this yellow base is everyone. That's you, that's me, that's everyone in early childhood. And then from the blue up, it's designed to decrease the number of children that need this. So down here is nurturing and engaging relationships, meaning all children need nurturing and engaging relationships in order to be successful in the early childhood classrooms. They also need high quality supportive environments, which is the next level up on the pyramid. So the idea is that when these things are in place, it supports all children, and it's what all children need to be successful. As we move up the pyramid, up here in green, this is targeted social emotional supports. This is a smaller number of children who need a little bit more than what every child needs. These are children who might need you to praise them more, or they might need you to give them more attention, more supportive guidance, need you to be proactive. Maybe they struggle with transitions and they need you to reach out to them before a transition and help support them before that happens. And then the top of this pyramid is intensive intervention. And this is always done in conjunction with other professionals, typically special education teachers or mental health professionals. Your director would be involved. At this level, it's writing behavior support plans for children. Typically, these children could have an IEP, an individualized education plan for a learning disability or delay. If you have children that need really intensive supports, then they fall in this upper level of this pyramid. So this table is in your textbook, and these are some typical things that come up in early childhood classrooms and some ways that we can say them. So, when a child hurts another child, we can say, teach each other kindly. And then in practical applications, we can say, use your words if you want to turn. And it's always important to give the children reasoning. It's hard to work and play if you're afraid of getting hurt. So these are some things that come up quite a bit in the classroom. So for that first situation, when a child hurts another child, we might hear teachers say, we don't hit, or we don't hurt other people. And using the negative, saying these in the negative, doesn't help children understand the behavior that we would rather prefer to see from them. So these are some phrases out of the textbook that you can use around some common things that happen in classrooms to help use supportive language for children. Here is an example of a classroom setup in an early childhood classroom. And I'm using this because it's really important for all children on the base level of the pyramid that they have a solid environment that can express to them what you expect from them in the classroom and can also meet their needs. So obviously this is not a picture of a real classroom. This is a classroom model, but there's a few features that I really like about this. One of the features that I like is that you can see that each center is distinctive. So this looks like a housekeeping home area. It's very distinctive. It may also be used for other things like large group. There's some instruments over here, and it's really clearly defined. There are boundaries and spaces. It's also next to this big block area over here. These tend to be noisier activities, so it's good to put them near each other. Versus over here, this reads like a reading nook, a reading area, and it's good to have it separated from the really loud stuff. If you put a reading nook kind of right here between these, then the children aren't going to be able to focus and do some of those calmer, quieter activities. This space over here looks like maybe it's a larger manipulative area. If you were to put unit blocks on this shelf, I would actually not recommend it. And by unit blocks, I mean those wooden blocks. And the reason is there's a little bit of a freeway right here. So right through here, you see how there's this like kind of freeway that you can just kind of cruise through with no regard. I would actually, if I were going to have a block area with blocks on the floor, I would actually maybe use this area. Now I see that these shelves are really cubby shelves. I would replace this and put some shelving here for unit blocks on either of these sides. And I would make my block building area in here, maybe even make it a little bit bigger. But it appears that there's a divider here, and that's really important. You want to block off your block area so there's one, at most two, but preferably one distinct entrance and exit. Because if it's wide open, it just becomes a freeway for children to run through, and it becomes more likely that big body play or fast moving children are going to come in and knock over other children's block structures. So we really want to protect that space and keep it three-sided. So that's a little bit about our intro to early childhood guidance. Please watch parts 2 and 3. We're going to get a little more into some of the things that you can do in your classrooms, practical strategies that you can use to support children.